almost every retro gamer knows about the Ghosts and Goblins games. It was a series that terrorized many of us in our youth with its incredible difficulty. Actually, the first one was so hard for me as a kid that I couldn't even make it past the first few screens. I've had a much better experience with those games than I did back then, and I've actually found them to be much more fun now. Still, I never realized until recently that Capcom actually built a full series around a totally nondescript enemy from those games. Yeah, that's right, this flying red chode had a franchise created just for him. There were 2 Gargoyles Quest games on the Game Boy, and then Demon's Crest on the SNES. The last came out in 1994, and it became one of the most defining action platformers on the console. The absolute first thing I wanted to discuss in this video is the thing I think stands out the most about it: the game's aesthetic. It's dark, brooding, and sinister, and really does a great job of incorporating the evil flavor it was going for. The pixels are just beautiful, especially the big bosses. I mean, just take a look at this giant undead dragon burst through this gate. It's just awesome. The character and enemy design in this title is off the charts in terms of quality, and the detailed backgrounds are a great touch that adds so much. For example, just look at the swamp water move slowly in the background here, and the burning bushes that fill the area here. Like Super Metroid, the dark shaded backgrounds were utilized perfectly in Demon's Crest to leave a lasting impression on the player. Firebrand's goal is to find various crests throughout the world, all of which allow him to unlock a new form. There are 5 different forms other than his default state, all of which are elemental based and give him new abilities to cope with different parts of the environment. For instance, the tidal form is used to swim and breathe through water areas, and the earth form allows him to charge into stones and rocks to break them apart. In addition to the crests, you can also purchase spells that give you more power, items to keep your health replenished, and talismans to give you various beneficial effects. As a whole, the different forms, spells, and items keeps the gameplay varied and fresh, and forces the player to adapt to new circumstances. Mode 7 is used for transitions between stages, which is a nice touch, and you can also use flight to travel to shops. And, well, when it comes to flying, that subject is probably at the root of the biggest criticism about this game. That's because Firebrand's default flying ability allows you to travel through many parts of the game without having to deal with obstacles in the way. It fits the theme, right? I mean, you are a gargoyle after all. But this ability comes virtually without limitation, and seems to allow the player to avoid much of the content the developers wanted you to experience. On the other hand though, there's a lot of stages that have caverns, waterways, and other places where the power of flight isn't really that beneficial anyway. So I feel like this qualm is a bit overblown. It's a little like having a cape in Super Mario World. You can always use it to fly, but you'll want to play through the game normally anyway. Outside of that, your main abilities in Demon's Crest include breathing fire to attack enemies and clinging onto walls. Also of note is that Demon's Crest features 4 different endings, all of which depend on how you handle the final boss. The tougher endings require you to do extra tasks during the fight. The various endings have pretty divergent storyline implications too, so it provides the player good incentive to pursue the better ones. Most action games of the time didn't use this multi-ending system, so this was a real treat that added to the game's replay value. The soundtrack has more of a dark, ambient feel, so it's definitely a lot different from some of the scores of other games I cover. There are some melodic tunes too, but they mostly take the form of pipe organs. The overall feel is similar to a lot of the Castlevania songs, so if you like that style, I think you'll like this as well. Demon's Crest is available on the Nintendo Switch's online subscription service, but outside of that, it's a little hard to get a hold of if you don't have the original cart. And, well, the cart just happens to be high in demand and ultra expensive. It certainly doesn't help that it wasn't included on the SNES Classic either. In its heyday, it did have a cheesy commercial to market it in 1994 though. Just check this out.
Here's a side-scrolling platform game packed with amazing graphics and non-stop action. Demon's Crest. As they quest to unite the missing gems of the Demon's Crest and summon its power for the good of the ghoul realm, players get to morph in a variety of spectacular gargoyle forms, each with unique powers and attack modes. Demon's Crest for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
When it comes down to it, Demon's Crest is one of the system's premier action platformers. It has by far one of the coolest motifs, and is packed with amazing visuals and awesome lore. I'd say it's a little on the short side, so don't expect to spend as much time in it as you would Super Metroid, but the multiple ending system does allow for more playtime. The level design probably could have been made a bit better in some places, but the title combines so many great characteristics into a singular experience. It's absolutely worth going back to. Now sound off in the comments. If you played Demon's Crest, what's the best part of the game? If you haven't, what looks most intriguing about it to you? If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell below to be alerted upon the addition of new ones. Also, please join my Discord community linked in the description, and consider supporting my channel via YouTube's Join feature to receive member exclusives, such as advanced videos and complete video transcripts.